Hey folks, I have a supplemental video for you here. I realized last time I didn't really emphasize the human editable nature of this. Like I really like the knowledge graph view, but these are just Markdown files, individual Markdown files. So for example, let me pull up, yeah, I've got a page for marketing Opa, right? And so this is just Markdown. I can edit this, Claude can edit it, Claude can read it, but a lot of times I just edit it myself. And yeah, it turns out that Opa has a funny meaning in Korean, so there's sort of this joke Korean presence for the app now. But yeah, this is just Markdown. And so every single one of these files that you see me looking at, they're all just editable. And I'm not an Obsidian master, but there are all kinds of things you can do to improve this if you like. There are controls for how much to repel or attract. You can add these color kinds of things. In fact, there's a whole set of Obsidian plugins for power users. Like maybe you don't even like this view particularly. There's one called Juggl, and Juggl is just adding additional capabilities for the graph, and like labeling edges and so forth. There's a whole Obsidian community that I'm only barely scratching the surface for. For me, it was just a really useful utility for editing these notes and so forth. So the main context, though, like my motivation in creating this thing wasn't just to, hey, I really like knowledge graphs. They are cool. But for me, it was about being able to continue a conversation, like picking up from where I left off. And the problem I was having with just vanilla Claude was I'd end up with all of these different chats all over the place. And it was hard to find, like, where was I talking about that one thing before? Because the search feature in the vanilla Claude web experience doesn't search over content. It only searches titles. And so that was kind of useless. The other main thing was, and now I have this tagline for Opa called Own Your Context, right? When my email address died, for reasons we won't go into, Anthropic wouldn't let me change emails. So you have to create a new account with a new email address. And then all those other chats that I had for a really long time, I couldn't get to those. And Anthropic wouldn't let me download my data. It would say, oh, we're going to send your download link to your dead email address. And this is where I thought, man, I've got to be able to have my context available for me, right? So those are kind of the two motivating things. Was let's be able to continue the conversation from where we left off. Let's make it really easy to find the information, and let's make sure that that information stays with me. And then this knowledge graph is in some sense a means to an end, but it is pretty cool. And I kind of geek out on that as well, right? One other thing I've added is a little troubleshooting section. And in fact, I can show you how I did it, right? So, and this is in the README. So now down at the bottom, there's a little troubleshooting thing. And the way I created it was just actually either, I don't remember whether it was on my phone or in the desktop version, but I just said, yeah, okay, let's create a troubleshooting section on the README note. And I provided all the content. I didn't just let Claude generate whatever it wants. But yeah, usually the problem that sometimes people run into is making sure that Claude can talk to the basic memory MCP. And so now the README has that information. You want to run this little command and then run Claude MCP to make sure that, and actually I just want to make sure that that little guy, there we go. All right, fix a little typo there, right? And this is the part of the human editable aspect of this, right? That's a selling point. Okay, so we already mentioned, let's see, Obsidian plugins, and there's a lot of them. Also, people have asked me, well, what about Android? And the answer is, yeah, I don't know. I think the Claude app works great on Android, and Obsidian works great. My question is, I'm not really sure what sort of remote storage options it's giving you for Android. So it may be that it still gives you an iCloud option, in which case, great, everything will work just as is. If instead it's doing Google Drive or Dropbox, that's fine too. I just don't have the script for that. I'm told that there are some Obsidian plugins that will allow these kinds of extra storage options. I just haven't looked into them, but you could probably get it working. The other thing in that troubleshooting note was, yeah, ask Claude for help, right? And it can help you with some of these things. So one other question you might wonder or notice is Claude has other apps and things, like they have this thing called, oh yeah, look, plan a day trip. Yeah, we've already done that, Claude, thanks. There's customize, there's projects, there's even this thing called Claude Dispatch, and it will pair with your phone and do some things. And there's also, yeah, some other sorts of things that you can try to do. I say go for it. I'm just sharing you what works for me, right? And so I think with that, we'll end this video and enjoy. If you have any ideas or issues, leave them in the comments.